In the shadowy forests of the Congo, bonobo chimpanzees watch us with ancient eyes. They've been running an evolutionary experiment far longer than we have, one that might hold the key to understanding our own paradoxically human nature. We love to say, we domesticated wolves into man's best friend. But the truth? Those early wolves saw a benefit: food, warmth, shelter, and decided our ancestors were worth a Faustian gamble. What followed was a litany of evolutionary changes: floppy ears, softer features, less distinction between genders. There is a process going on here. So what does it mean to be domesticated? The process of self-domestication has been quietly reshaping us all along. Richard Wrangham, in his book The Goodness Paradox, suggests that from early ancient times to the future, this process has big implications for social evolution. To understand how this works, Wrangham, who spent months sitting in Congolese jungles watching bonobos, highlights two critical categories of aggression. Reactive aggression is the road rage moment: immediate, explosive, primal. The shouting, the choice words, the hand gestures, the potential fight. Pure emotional response without forethought. Proactive aggression is the medieval counsel: calculated, planned, deliberate. It's continuing to follow that car that cuts you off, plotting what you'll do when you catch up. It's tomorrow's violence, meticulously arranged today. Here's where it gets interesting, and honestly, a little bit brutal. In those early hunter-gatherer bands, just like with bonobos, members who expressed reactive aggression were easy to identify. And then, they were removed, exiled or killed by the group, using proactive aggression. Over time, we've selected against reactive traits and selected for proactive ones. By removing aggression with aggression, we're literally brute-forcing our way to harmony. But this raises another paradox. Can we remove a force without using another force? Forces within our geopolitical arena include states, hyperagents, religions, social movements, otherwise called egregores, and networks. When stretched across the global stage, philosophically, these forces begin to obey a sort of power law, naturally expanding, encroaching, competing, a real-time nuclear-fueled space-age version of Rome Total War. Like the sun burning until self-extinguished, changing its entire system in the process, these global forces are largely predicated on proactive aggression. And so we find ourselves trapped in a cycle as old as the solar system itself. Do we even have a choice? As a force, we're removing Mother Nature with our technology and agriculture, until we ourselves are removed by a bigger force: the sun, cosmic debris, or perhaps that supervolcano sitting under Yellowstone National Park. Clearly, we have bigger fish to fry than ourselves, but perhaps there's a new direction, a different path down what some call the making stream. Proper sense-making could collectively steer us away from the currently selected for proactive aggression. At its core, sense-making is making the most accurate reading of reality around you and acting optimally. It's upstream of everything we choose to do. And from proper sense-making flows better choice-making, which leads to better decision-making. Even a small change in trajectory compounds over time. Currently, we're playing Game A, survival-based symbiosis, the law of the jungle. When scaled across advanced in-groups versus out-groups, it becomes a game-theoretic minefield. But what comes after A? Yes, B. Game B represents something revolutionary. Perhaps a closed-loop materials economy, utilizing renewable energy, governance based on genuine cooperation, rather than competitive dialectic. If we continue on our current Game A course, we may continue the zero-sum mission of brute forcing our way toward harmony. Or we may end up accomplishing something far less pleasant. The glimmer of hope rests in theoretical forms of governance and within each of us. New styles of governance may be tested, first in small batches, then on larger scales. Some might turn out to be net good, better than what we have at least. Or maybe we're just another force in the cycle, destined to be replaced. Either way, the experiment continues. Worth a try though, isn't it? As we stand at the edge of our own making, we face a choice. continue down the path of balancing reactive and proactive aggression, or seek a new way forward. Perhaps our distant cousins, who've been running this experiment far longer, have something to teach us after all. Or perhaps the answer lies not in removing force, but in channeling it, directing our collective power towards something better than mere survival. Either way, the question remains, are we just brute forcing our way to harmony? And if so, is that really so bad?